Hello students, I am Narsimulu, commerce teacher working in Telangana State Model School and Junior College, Tandur, Vikarabad district. Today I am going to teach you CEC first year accountancy, unit chapter 2, part 2, double entry bookkeeping system. In this video, it is the second video, chapter 2. In this video, I will explain the concept of double entry bookkeeping system. So what is double entry bookkeeping system? Meaning, advantages and account pro forma. Now we see the objectives, what we have to learn in this video. Introduction, meaning, advantages, account. Now you can go to see introduction. Listen carefully and try to understand the points. Lucas Fasialo, an Italian merchant, first articulated the double entry system in 1494 AD. Dear students, this first line is very important for you because a question may ask any one in the future as who is the father of accountancy? Then your answer must be that Luca Fasialo. Luca Fasialo is the father of accountancy. He first coined the concept of double entry bookkeeping system in the year 1494. But the double entry bookkeeping system was developed in England and in other European countries after or during Industrial Revolution in 18th century. See, the system of recording business transaction in a systematic manner has originated in Italy. Actually, the concept was originated in Italy by the Lucas Fasialo, but it was perfected, means developed in England and other European countries during the 18th century only. Before that, the concept was coined by Luca Fasialo, but it was given perfect shape in England and other European countries during 18th century after Industrial Revolution. Many countries have adopted this system today for recording the transactions. So, in the entire world, most of the countries are using this double entry system of bookkeeping. Okay, children, this is the introduction part. In this, we can go to remember 4 points. First one, who coined the concept of double entry bookkeeping system? Lucas Fasialo. And who is the father of accountancy? Lucas Fasialo. He was Italian merchant. He firstly used the word double entry bookkeeping system in 1494 and it was developed or given perfect shape to double entry system in England and other European countries in the 18th century after industrial revolution. And this system was, now this system is using most of the countries in the world. So this is the overall introduction of double entry bookkeeping system. Next, a meaning. So what is double entry bookkeeping system? Students, I given point wise, just you concentrate. I will explain one by one. There are numerous transactions which are to be recorded in the business concern. Each transaction reveals two important aspects. This point, as a beginner, you should know clearly. Dear account students, this point tells us there are hundreds and thousands of business transactions in the business which have to be recorded. But how those transactions are recorded? And here one point, it is an assumption. It is the concept. It is the idea. It is the thought. Generally we can say tradition, that what it tells is here, every business transaction should have two aspects. That is important point. Here the important point is that if you take any business transaction that can be measured in terms of money, will have two aspects. Dear students, once again I want to tell it, I want to repeat it, that every business transaction will have two aspects. I think you got it. Let me ask the question and you have to answer to that. How many aspects we will see in business transaction? Yes, two aspects we will see in every business transaction. So what are those two aspects? Now we can go to see. One aspect is receiving aspect or incoming aspect or expenses or loss aspect, termed as debit aspect. See, as I told you that every business transaction should have two aspects. So out of two, one aspect is a receiving aspect. It is also called incoming aspects or expenses or loss aspect. See, either it must be receiving aspect or incoming aspect or expenses or loss aspect, termed as the debit aspect. Debit aspect means either it must be a receiving aspect or it may be incoming aspect or it may be expenses or losses aspect. Okay student, what is debit aspect? Debit aspect means receiving aspect or incoming aspect or expenses or loss aspect. So how can we understand receiving? As a business person, you think that if you receive anything from outsiders, then you will become a receiver. Okay, so that is receiving aspect. If you give something to someone else, outsider, the other person receiving something from you, so we will call him, or it is called as a receiving aspect from the other person point of view. Okay, and incoming aspect, if you purchase anything from the market, as a business person or as a business organization, if you purchase anything from the yes, here if you purchase anything from any organization, that's something coming to your business, something coming to your business, so that is called incoming aspect or expenses or losses. If you say spend some amount, then that is called expenses aspect. So when you find these types of aspects in the transactions, either receiving aspect or incoming aspect or expenses or loss aspect, that is called as debit aspect. Okay children, try to understand it. Debit aspect means nothing but either it may be receiving aspect or incoming aspect or expenses or loss aspect. Okay, I hope you understood one aspect of a transaction, business transaction. See, the other aspect is giving aspect or outgoing aspect or income or gain aspect, termed as credit aspect. Dear students, the other aspect of a transaction quite opposite to the first aspect. See, in the first aspect there was a receiving aspect, here giving aspect or outgoing aspect or income or gain aspect, termed as credit aspect. Giving aspect means here if you give something to others, then you are the giver. Okay, that is called giving aspect. And outgoing aspect, if you sell something, then the something that goes from your business, so then that is called as outgoing aspect. Or you are making some income or gain on your business transactions, so that is termed as credit aspect. So here in every transaction we have to find two aspects. One is debit aspect, another is credit aspect. Debit aspect is called as receiving aspect, credit aspect is called as giving aspect. Debit aspect is called as incoming aspect, credit aspect is called as outgoing aspect. Expenses or losses are termed as debit aspect, incomes and gains aspect termed as the credit aspect. So here two aspects, one is debit aspect, another is credit aspect. Simple to remember, just you do one thing. Debit aspect means receiving aspect, credit aspect means giving aspect. So here two aspects we have. So next point, you see these two, debit aspect and credit aspect, forms the basis of double entry system. So the two aspects of a business transaction lays down the foundation of a double entry system. So on this system, the entire building of accountancy will be constructed. So two aspects. What are the two aspects here? Debit aspect and credit aspect. These are the fundamental or foundations for double entry system. Okay, now see, the fundamental rule under double entry bookkeeping system is that for every debit there must be corresponding value of credit. So what is the fundamental rule? For every debit there must be one credit, and the credit amount should be equal to the debit amount. This is the meaning of double entry system. Here this concept tells us that every transaction has two aspects. One is debit aspect, another is credit aspect. So after completion of this, next we go for another slide. Features of double entry bookkeeping system. So what are the characteristics features of double entry bookkeeping system? We can go to observe. All points are discussed. They will be repeated here. Every business transaction affects two accounts, because every business transaction has two aspects. So when there are two aspects, naturally we open one account for one aspect. So that transaction will definitely affect two accounts. Each transaction has two aspects, that is debit aspect and credit aspect. Yes, every transaction must have one debit aspect and one credit aspect. It is based upon accounting assumptions, concepts and principles. So just it is an assumption and accounting principles and concepts. It helps in preparing trial balance, which a test of arithmetical accuracy in accounting. Double entry bookkeeping system also used to prepare a trial balance to test the arithmetical accuracy of accuracy in accounting. Last and final. Finally, it helps in preparation of final accounts with the help of trial balance. So after preparation of trial balance, we can go to prepare final accounts. For that, we can go to use the information which is in the trial balance. So these are the features of double entry bookkeeping system. Next, account. For every aspect, we need to open one account. In the business transaction, we will have two aspects. One is debit aspect, another is credit aspect. So for every aspect, we need to open one account. So we should know what is account. Just you can go to observe here. Every transaction has two aspects and each aspect has an account. It is stated that an account is a summary of relevant transactions at one place relating to a particular head. So it is the summary of relevant transactions at one place or relating to a particular head. For example, if we take the head of the account as salaries, so in the year, how many times we paid salaries, this account will show us. Means here it is the summary. Summary means here the details we can go to see. On January month, how much salary we paid. Means a similar type of transactions are recorded under the particular head, that is called account. See here, the common form of an account has three parts. The common form of account has three parts. So we can go to describe the account. So account may have three parts. Just you see. The first one, the title that describe the names of asset, liability or equity account. So on the account, first we can go to give a title, a head, name of the account. That is the first part of the account. And left side, a left side or the debit side. So a left side we can go to say debit side and right side we can go to say credit side. These are the three parts: head of the account, left side and right side. The form of account is called a T account because of its similarity to the letter T shown below. Students, the account pro forma is looks like T, the word letter T. And here if you see on the corner of this slide, I draw a T shape form letter. If you observe, the red color horizontal line divided with a vertical black line. Okay, so on the top of this red color line, and above the red color line we can go to write the head of the account, and right side part of this account is called as debit side, sorry, credit, left side of this account is called as debit side, right side of this account is called as credit side. So you see opposite side. Okay, so left side of the account is called as debit side, right side of the account is called as credit side. Okay, this is the pro forma. And you see here I given that ledger account pro forma in detail. So debit side and credit side. Debit side there will be 4 columns. The debit side there will be 4 columns, and credit side also there will be 4 columns. And see, debit side, date, particular, LF number, amount. These are the columns that we have to show. Okay, similarly on the credit side there are 4 columns: date, particulars, LF number, amount. Here LF number means ledger folio number. Okay children, date, particulars, LF number, amount. Date, particulars, LF number, amount. So here the what is the shape of a ledger account? Yes, your answer is correct. The shape of ledger account is T letter, T shape. We can go to say T shape, the letter T shape. So on the top of this account we can go to write the head of the account. Left side of the account is called as debit side, right side of the account is called credit side, and each side we can go to draw 4 columns. And first column is meant for date, left side means debit side. First column is meant for date, second column is meant for particulars, third column is meant for ledger folio number, and fourth column is meant for amount. Similarly credit side, first column meant for date, second column meant for particulars, and third column meant for LF number, that is ledger folio number, and fourth column is for amount. So like this we can go to prepare the ledger account. I hope children you understood what is account, what is the shape of account, and what are the items, what are the columns we can go to show in the ledger account. Okay children, I hope you understood the double entry bookkeeping system. Introduction of double entry bookkeeping system you understood in this video, and the meaning and importance of double entry bookkeeping system also you understood. And next, the features of double entry bookkeeping system you understood, and the account meaning, parts, and pro forma. All these things you have learnt in this video. I hope children you understood. If you not, you can go to repeat it unless you understand the basic points in the understand the basic concept of double entry bookkeeping system. Okay children, thank you very much watching this video.